Imagine the ocean. Not the sunny shore, but the deep dark blue where sunlight never reaches. Strange glowing fish drift by, and giant squid lurk in the shadows. Down here, the world is silent, mysterious, and full of secrets. For centuries, people have gazed at the ocean, wondering what lies beneath. One legend has echoed through time, the story of a lost city, Atlantis. Atlantis was said to be a magnificent city, rich in gold and wisdom, more advanced than any other. But in a single, terrible day and night, it vanished beneath the waves. The legend of Atlantis has fascinated us for generations. Was it real? Could a whole civilization disappear without a trace? Or is it just a story, a warning about the fragility of greatness? Atlantis is a puzzle, a treasure map for our imagination. It invites us to be detectives, searching for clues in ancient stories and the ocean's depths. The tale is a mix of magic, power, and mystery, ending in dramatic loss. It makes us ask, what does it mean to be a great civilization? What happens when power is misused? The whisper from the deep ocean calls us to explore, to wonder, and to seek answers. Atlantis is more than a legend. It's a mirror reflecting our hopes and fears. The mystery endures, pulling us into its depths. Will we ever discover the truth behind the lost city? Every legend has a beginning, and Atlantis begins with Plato, a philosopher from ancient Greece. Plato wasn't an explorer, he was a thinker, living in Athens over 2,300 years ago. He wrote dialogues, stories where characters debated big ideas about life, society, and justice. In two of these, Timaeus and Critias, Plato introduced Atlantis. He claimed the story was ancient, passed down from an Egyptian priest to the Athenian leader Solon. Plato described Atlantis in vivid detail. Its location, size, government, and people. But no other ancient Greek writer mentions Atlantis, only Plato. Was it a real place, or did Plato invent it as a lesson about pride and corruption? He often used stories to teach, so Atlantis might be an allegory, a warning about the dangers of greed and the loss of virtue. Yet, Plato insisted the story was strange, yet perfectly true. This has puzzled people for centuries, fact or fiction. And so, the mystery began. According to Plato, Atlantis was a gift from the sea god Poseidon. He created a city of concentric rings of land and water, protecting his beloved Clito. Their son Atlas became the first king, and the island and ocean were named after him. Atlantis was a paradise, rich in forests, fruits, and precious metals like orichalcum. The Atlanteans were brilliant builders, connecting their city with bridges and canals. The city's walls gleamed with brass, tin, and fiery orichalcum. At its heart stood a grand temple to Poseidon, adorned with gold and silver. Hot and cold springs provided luxurious baths for all. The people were wise, artistic, and lived in harmony, following Poseidon's laws. They valued wisdom and kindness above wealth and power. Atlantis ruled its own island and others nearby, creating a vast, respected empire. Their ships sailed far, trading with distant lands. It seemed their golden age would last forever. But slowly, their hearts began to change. The seeds of pride and ambition were growing. Over generations, the Atlanteans forgot their ancestors' wisdom. Greed and ambition replaced kindness and virtue. Obsessed with wealth and power, they grew arrogant, believing themselves superior. Their peaceful kingdom turned aggressive, seeking to conquer the world. Plato wrote that Atlantis already ruled parts of Europe and Africa. Now, they set their sights on Athens and the Mediterranean. The Athenians, brave and wise, stood alone against the Atlantean invasion. Against all odds, Athens defeated the mighty Atlantean army, freeing those enslaved. Virtue triumphed over power, but the story didn't end there. The gods watched as Atlantis fell deeper into corruption. Their judgment was coming. The Atlanteans' fall from grace was complete. The time for punishment had arrived. The fate of Atlantis was sealed. The lesson: even the greatest empires can fall when they lose their way. The stage was set for disaster. After their defeat, the gods decided Atlantis must be punished for its pride. Zeus gathered the gods to decide their fate. Plato's story cuts off at this moment, but he tells us the end in another dialogue. The punishment was swift and catastrophic. Earthquakes and floods shattered Atlantis. Buildings crumbled, and terror swept the people. The ocean, once their ally, became their doom. Tsunamis crashed over the land, swallowing the city. In a single day and night, Atlantis vanished beneath the waves. When the sun rose, only open sea remained. The story became a warning. No civilization is invincible. Pride and greed can lead to sudden ruin. The legend of Atlantis endures because of its haunting, unforgettable end. Plato's detailed story has inspired real-world searches for Atlantis. Some believe it was based on the island of Thera, now Santorini, destroyed by a massive volcanic eruption 3,600 years ago. The eruption caused tsunamis that devastated the advanced Minoan civilization on Crete. Memories of this disaster may have evolved into the Atlantis legend. Plato said Atlantis was named after Atlas, a titan punished to hold up the sky at the world's edge. He placed Atlantis beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. This led many to search for Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean. Explorers have pointed to underwater formations like the Bimini Road in the Bahamas. Similar flood myths exist worldwide, from Noah's Ark to ancient Mesopotamia. Could these stories be distant echoes of a real catastrophe? The clues keep the mystery alive. The legend of Atlantis has inspired explorers, dreamers, and scientists for centuries. After Plato, the story faded, but it was revived during the Renaissance. In 1882, Ignatius Donnelly's book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, sparked a modern obsession. Donnelly claimed Atlantis was the source of all ancient knowledge. Though most scientists disagree, his ideas inspired countless searches. People have looked for Atlantis everywhere, from the Atlantic to the Mediterranean, the Caribbean, and even Antarctica. Atlantis appears in books, movies, games, and TV, symbolizing lost worlds and endless adventure. Despite no physical proof, the search continues with sonar and deep-sea submarines. Every new discovery on the ocean floor reignites hope. The quest for Atlantis is about more than a lost city. It's about the thrill of the unknown. It reflects our desire to explore and believe in the extraordinary. The search endures, fueled by curiosity and wonder. Atlantis is more than a lost city. It's a mirror for our hopes and fears. We dream of a perfect world, wise and peaceful, living in harmony with nature. The legend inspires us to strive for something better, but it's also a warning. Pride and greed can destroy even the greatest achievements. The mystery of Atlantis fascinates us because it's an unsolved puzzle. With no proof, our imaginations fill in the blanks. Atlantis can be anything we dream. It's a blank space on the map of history, open to endless possibilities. Whether real or not, Atlantis makes us ask big questions and inspires curiosity. It reminds us that wisdom and kindness are the true treasures. The legend will continue to call to dreamers and explorers. Atlantis endures as a symbol of wonder, warning, and hope. The whisper from the deep will never fade. The search for Atlantis is, in the end, a search for ourselves.